Welcome, it's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's time for the Chevy Nova 7374 Nova Show. It's 6 o'clock. I'm online, so just going to wait for some people to join us. We've got some topics to cover today. Well, let's see what's going on here. Okay, yeah, we're connected. And let's see if anybody's about to join us. So it is 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's the time zone I'm living in. That's why I picked 6 o'clock. Actually, I picked 6 o'clock because normally I play hockey a little later, but I don't have any games today. And as you guys know, last week I wasn't able to play because I got called last minute to play hockey. And as my Canadian duty, I've got to play. Matt Baker has joined us. Greetings, sir. Welcome. You're the only one so far. How you doing, Matt? And Doug Toa has joined us, the admin and owner of Chevy Nova and his Nova group. Mark Jeffries has joined us. So Matt's 1 hour ahead of me. Yeah, it's only 6 o'clock over here. It is cold and miserable here in Winnipeg, Manitoba today. It is about 45, 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Still good enough to take the car out. There's no snow, thankfully, but we're supposed to get rain in the next few days. Honestly, I don't mind a little bit of rain because the streets are dirty, dusty from the winter cleanup. We could use them to be washed. And look, I can't really see, but I even cleaned the garage a little for you guys today. And James has joined us. Hey, James. I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes to see if more people join us. We got some hot topics to discuss today. We've got on the agenda, I believe, is power steering versus manual steering, power brakes versus manual brakes. We're going to talk a little about the 73, 74 hood trim, and how you can use the 68 to 72 hood. Headlights has been a hot topic. I guess we're going to talk about those again. And I've seen some discussions on fan shrouds of different type. Of course, I don't have a fan shroud in here, so that's going to be hard to talk about that one. And I also wanted to bring up alternators because we've been talking about, the topic of the Holy Sniper EFI system that I run in my Nova has come up a few times. So I want to discuss alternator upgrades on that because I found out you might have to do that too. And then a little bit about the membership and people joining our group, cover pages, and then I got some notes of things I've seen, hoping to discuss with everybody. Hey, Daniel, welcome. Well, James, not much is up. It's a night off of ball hockey for me, thankfully, so I don't have to play later. Just waiting on some parts right now. I don't know if anybody has read my updates, but my Nova had a rough weekend. We started Friday night with flushing the transmission fluid in the back lane. So after we got the line fixed in that, filled it back up, went for a drive, and thought I could hear a bit of a knock. So we come back on Saturday, and I got my trusty stethoscope, and I'm putting it everywhere under the sun, under the hood. Valve covers, the block, the intake, the alternator, the water pump. And I can't hear anything. Even from underneath, I can't hear anything, but you stand in front of it, and you can hear a bit of a knock. It's not a constant knock, like a rod or a bear. It's a constant knock, 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 or a tick. It's like a random knock. And even when I was under the car, I couldn't hear it. But what I did discover is I've got a huge crack in my header on the driver's side. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to discuss, headers. I didn't write that down here. That I have a huge crack on my driver's header. And from talking to some people, cracked headers sometimes make funny sounds. So that's what we're praying on. That's a set of headers. So we ordered some headers. And hey, Jim, how you doing? Yes, Novas do rock, especially the 7374s. And I don't know if you know, we even have a corporate cousin with us. That's my 74 Olds Omega, also known as the Slow Mega. And guys, please introduce yourselves on the chat for other people. You know, chat amongst yourselves. It's not just about listening and talking to me. Talk to your fellow Nova brothers and sisters. By all means, this is a stream for all of us, kind of a chat as you will. So by all means, introduce yourselves, introduce your cars if you'd like. Just going to wait a few more minutes, see if more people join. We got 8 viewers. That's good. Compared to some of the other streams I do, that's about 5 times the amount of viewers. I also noticed on the chat, I haven't been on the chat too much, or the group too much this past weekend because it's nice out. I've had the cars out, and then the Nova was asking for a little attention. But I noticed there's some people selling some parts out there. If you're looking for a 73 front bumper and rear bumper, including brackets, Antonio, well, I'm going to try and not slaughter your name here. Antonio Pritchett, I think that's it. He's got a pair. The non-impact stripe kind he's selling for $200. The post is on the group. He's also got a minty front grille, including the amber signal lights. He's asking $50 for that, plus your shipping, which I think honestly is a good deal. And Gil Brurosto? Oh, I know I'm killing that, Gil, and I really apologize. He's still got that back half of a 74 Nova for sale. But he's also posted that he has a license plate bracket for the rear of 73, 74 Novas. He's got that for sale right now, $80 shipping. I think shipping's included. Don't quote me. And our friend Gail, he or she is looking for he or she. I don't know, Gail, if that's a guy or girl. I'm not going to assume gender. Looking for door panels, but I see that Nick Dason has 2 sets, and he's replied. And Michael Dart had posted about door panel questions, and that led to another topic, which we will discuss. Door panels for 73, 74 versus door panels for 68 to 72, the handles versus the straps. John Haynes replied to that thread on the group with some excellent pictures. So we'll talk about that too. I see we got some more comments. Disco Novas. Not sure what Matt meant there. Usually Disco Novas are 75 to 79. Although I wouldn't mind having one. And the Slomega needs a 572. Originally, it was a 6-cylinder car when I got the car. And we couldn't get the car to go faster than 30 miles an hour on a good day. We rebuilt the car. We did a tune-up, new plugs, wires. We put an HEI distributor, new distributor in it. And we got maybe 35 miles an hour downhill. A friend of mine was parting out an 85 Pontiac Parisian. So I pulled the 305 out of that, dropped it in there, and now we had a car that was drivable. And then my dad and I, we started racing it about 10 years ago. It was a 17-second car, bursted into the 16s a couple of times there, 16.9s. And then I bought a 355, which we threw in there, got the car into the 14s, blew that up, and my friend Dan Clem rebuilt that as a 355, a small block Chevy, of course, because I can't afford Oldsmobile. And now it's a mid 13-second car. And it also gets some of the hand-me-downs from the Nova. And Rob has joined us. Rob is a pro 74 Nova lover. 73s aren't good enough. He's all 74, that guy. Oh, Disco was alive in 73, 74. Yeah, it could have been. That was a little before my time. And Steve Rushing, hello and welcome. He's wishing everybody, saying hello to everyone. So make sure everybody says hi to Steve. So it's 6:09. And our friend Daniel here is looking for a 4-speed center console for a 75 Nova or a 75 and up Nova. I don't know my Novas well enough to know if 73, 74s are the same, or because I know the 68, the 72s, of course, are one generation. 73, 74 are another. I don't know if the two interchange. If somebody can correct me on that, that'd be great, or teach me. And 75 to 79, I don't know if we're going to be able to help you there, Dan, but by all means, get the word out. You never know what people have hanging around in the garage. So Jim's asking what's in my Nova. Right now, it's a 406 small block, 12.6 to 1 compression, Pro Comp heads with ferrule valves and comp cam internals. Comp cam Extreme Energy 294 cam, I believe. I have to check my website. I can't remember the parts between the two. And featuring the Holley Sniper with a dual sync distributor, so it is fuel injected. Turbo 350 transmission and 342 gears. Gives me a mid to low 12s. And Brent Jensen has joined us. Brent, I've known him for many years. He had a nice website back in the day of his 73 Nova. And I don't know if he still has the site up or not, but Brent used to have one of the best websites that listed all 73, 74 Novas. Hey, Brett, if you still have that website saved and you need a place to put it, I do have room on chevynova.ca. If you want it, we can host it there. And yes, I finally got my seats in the car as I posted pictures. So maybe I'll take the camera over there if we need to kill some time later. All right, it is 10 after 6 or 7 if you live in Matt Baker's time zone. And Paco Cruz posted on the forum, or the group earlier this week about trunk floor pans for 73, 74. I'm not aware of anything available aftermarket, but if somebody is aware, please put it in the chat or reply to that thread and help Paco out. I probably should have mentioned the Midwest Nova Kings. They may have something for Paco, so I'll if nobody replies to him, I'll post that after. I guess we will start with power steering versus manual steering. Manual steering and power steering. So I got the perfect two cars for this. Now, I started driving the Nova back in '95, so I'm used to manual steerings. You know, that's how we built the muscles. Was with the manual steering. I've also got manual brakes. Now, the thing I like about this is all the room here. All the room. Okay, if you're going to get motion sick, you might want to look away. We'll just move the camera over to the car here and grab the wire. Hopefully I won't trip like last couple weeks ago. I tripped on one of my seats when I was moving the camera. Oh, now I'm making noise. Okay, so here we go. So one of the advantages not having power steering is look at all the room you got here. Not sure what you're going to put there unless you're going to put a Pro Charger or something. And also manual brakes. Lots of room back there. Now, the thing I like about these things is the simplicity. You know, you don't have to worry about the power steering pump breaking, replacing a power steering pump, or a brake booster. No brake booster. You don't have to worry about vacuum. If you have a large cam with minimal vacuum, you know, then you may need a vacuum pump. I know with my cam, I have very little to no vacuum. So if I were to put power brakes in here, I would need a vacuum pump. Again, make sure that's not leaking. Why is that like that? Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted here. So again, no power steering, no pump problems, no hose problems, and manual box. I'm not too sure if the manual box, I think it is a little smaller. I should have measured them because I was curious about that earlier. But I do believe the power steering box is wider. Oh, sorry about the bad camera angle, guys. I'm not used to traveling with a camera. Oh, well, this is getting bad. So let's go for a walk over here to the Omega. Sometimes I think of switching the front to a 74. So now we got power steering, brackets, another belt. You also need different pulleys. You got your hoses. And I hear that the hoses for 73 Omegas are the ones you want to use because they're a little different with the Oldsmobile motor and how they come out at the back. This hose, I kind of MacGyvered out of a couple cars at the junkyard. So I don't even know what this hose is from because, again, I was at the junkyard just ripping shit out when I converted this to a V8. And then you got the brake booster. Now you got your vacuum hoses and that. Now, both of my cars have drum all around. The one thing I like about the Nova with manual brakes is if you lose the motor, you lose power, or whatever, you still got full brakes. You know your brakes are going to work. Where car stalls or something with the Omega, now you're fighting the brake booster and you're fighting the system to stop your car in an emergency. Same thing with steering. You lose your ignition in that, I can still steer, no problem. The Omega, now you're fighting the system with Armstrong steering as well. I guess if I had to replace the steering, I myself, like I said, I prefer manual. Here, I'm just going to put the camera down here. So forgive me while I try to aim here and see if we get, oh, this camera isn't cooperating. Okay, no. Oh, sorry, guys. There's a crappy camera. Yeah, let's get the car back in there. Okay. So, I like manual for simplicity. The less things you have under the hood, the less things to go wrong myself. However, the manual steering, I believe, is 7 turns from lock to lock, where the Omega, I think, is 3. So it's 1.5 to full lock. On the Nova, it's like 3.5. So the ratio is way different on the manual box versus power steering. The downside to that, and I learned this at a very young age when I didn't know the full power. This car was still 352 barrel. I went to do a power turn around. Whoa. Sorry, tripped on the wire there. I went to do a power turn around a corner, and I couldn't recover from it fast enough, fishtailing with the Nova with manual steering because you had to turn the wheel so much. I couldn't recover. Eventually, I spun out the car, and I did in front of a donut shop with 2 cops who stood out there and clapped at me. So that humbled me at a real young age. So the downside to manual steering is you don't fishtail because it's very hard to recover. Now, the bonus and plus of having power steering, I love power U-turns and drifting the Omega. So that's my preference on it. I don't know if anyone else wants to opt up on if they have power steering or manual steering, what they like. Good evening, John and Greg and Kim Nova Girl. They've joined us. We're just talking about power steering and manual steering. We got the manuals, we got the powers. And I've had it before too, where the Nova one time broke down at the track, and steering it back and trying to get into my pit. Oh yeah, fighting that steering wheel, not fun. So to me, that's the pros and cons of power steering. I don't know if anyone else wants to hype up on that. And then the next topic, we have a lot of people who are joining our forum or joining our group who appreciate the earlier look of the Novas, the 68 to 72, and are converting their front ends. Now, I know there's a lot of purists. I got to admit, I'm one of them. But hey, my car, your car. So people have, before there were 73, 74 hoods, you could buy the 68 to 72 cowl hoods and that. No problem. Bolt them on the Nova. Really, the only difference is this trim. This trim piece along the front of the hood here. On, do I have a tape measure handy? No, I don't. I believe that's about 1 inch, where on the 68 to 72 hoods, it's about 1.5 inches, maybe 1.75 inches. It's a lot thicker of a trim. Really, that is your only difference. Back in 2004, I tried a 68 to 72 hood that I bought off a guy that had a scoop from a 70. But I found when I closed it, crack. It cracked my old grill in a couple places because this came down. I guess my hood, the way, you know, things were lined up, didn't work well. Now, I've seen people with their hoods and their cars, depending how everything lines up, not a problem. But on my car, no such luck. So I actually got a heart. What is this? Oh man, I can't even remember what make of the hood this is. I believe this is one of those Goodmark hoods, steel. And I personally, I like the steel hoods because I want to have the springs and that. It's a street car. I don't need pin on, pin off kind of thing. And the only thing when you buy hoods is you need this front hood piece because they don't come on the cowl hoods. So I just took that off my metal hood and I put it on here. So really, that's the only difference I've seen on the hoods. So again, you can use those earlier hoods. Be careful of the grills because they are plastic. However, you're not going to have a problem. And greetings. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I don't really want to offend anybody. I believe it's Pawanit. Greetings and welcome to our stream. Hopefully I didn't slaughter that too bad to you. And then John Hayes, he posted, or another gentleman posted, I'm sorry, Mike Dart posted about door panels. Now, I think I have one here somewhere. Where is it? Oh, it's right over here. Okay. One sec, let me get it. If I fall or crash, somebody could call 911 for me. Oh. All right, here we go. Here's a door panel. Ah. There we go. So here we have the 73, 74. This is the passenger door. In fact, this is the original one from my car here. Now, I don't know much about the 68 to 72 ones. Let me just dust that off because that's tweaking my OCD. But I know that the door window crank is in a different location on the other doors, on the 68 to 72 doors. Suppose I don't know what direction it is. John Hayes has the panels off of 68 to 72 on his Nova. He posted some excellent pictures in a write-up of how to make those door panels work on a 73. Because some people don't like the straps. Of course, I'm missing the strap because that's in the door panel with the molded hand rests. And they want the handle that's on the 68 to 72. The one downside I find with these 73, 74 door panels, and this is the reason why it's off my car, is it's cracked in a few places here over the years, I guess from being dried out and that. So I took this off my car. I put my spare one on. I was going to fiberglass this just to reinforce it so it didn't crack and split because at the time you couldn't buy door panels. I took this off about 3-4 years ago. That's how far behind I am in repairs. And I was going to fix this up. I still haven't done it, but now you can buy them new. Of course, I'm not going to buy a new one because other than that, this door panel is perfect. So once I get a little fiberglass, like I said, I'm just going to reinforce some of these cracks and then put it back on my car. So again, take a look on the forum. John Hayes, or Haynes, pardon me if I slaughtered that. He posted some excellent pictures. And our friend, again, Gail, he's looking for 73 door panels. Apparently, Nick Dason has 2 sets. Actually, I sent him a message because perhaps if I can get one cheap enough, I might just buy another one for the Nova. Because I don't know when I'm going to get around to doing that. I don't know how they do fiberglassing. Guess we'll find out. And then I guess people want to talk about headlight options again. On my Nova, I'm running these United Pacific 31379s with the white LEDs. You can also get them with yellow LEDs. See, here we go. Just my relays here. All right, just want to unplug the fan because that's loud. So the United Pacific 31-37-9s, and the reason I went with these headlights is they have a DOT rating, Department of Transportation. And in Canada, especially here in Manitoba with the older cars, they're really strict on modifications to cars, and you got to have DOT and, approved parts, and rightfully so, right? So I have these wired up. I have the LEDs wired up as a daytime running light. So as you can see, when I turn on the ignition, lights come on. When I turn on my park lights, the park light's on, LEDs are still on. Here's where it gets fancy with the relay setup I wired on mine. It's just a regular headlight bulb. These are the 9003 headlight bulbs. And if you don't want to wire them up fancy like mine, these bulbs, here's the bulb here, a 9003, I believe they're called H3 or H4s. Philips 9003 H4. There you go. So it says right there in the bulb. I don't know if you can see that or if it will focus on that. But this will plug into your factory wiring. So you can plug it right into the factory light. Now, I know there's different brands of LEDs and headlight conversion kits out there. Our friend Kim, she's got a set in her car. I believe she got hers out of Octane Lighting. And hers, she said, were a direct bolt-in. Mine weren't. What I had to do is I actually had to enlarge the hole on the radiator cradle so that the back of the bulb would fit. And it fits through the headlight bucket, but it did not clear the hole going into the car, past the radiator cradle. So I actually made a web page, which I can post the link to again, which is how I installed these lights. And then, of course, you need your high beams, right? So I went and I actually had my LEDs, and they come on with my high beams for added light. And then back to the LEDs, which I have wired up as ignition. Of course, you can still get the standard bulbs out there, the H6024 halogen lights, or I believe you can even get just the regular 6024 if you don't want halogen, you want the old school light, if you want something more original. Again, I got a little fancy with my wiring, and I wired a little relay system here, and that's how I'm able to get the LEDs to come on and then turn off when I turn the headlights on. Okay, radiator support. Thanks, Matt. So, radiator. Geez, I never thought about this Canadian-American thing here and how we talk. So I'm probably sounding a little goofy to you guys. So the radiator support, the hole just had to be elongated a little bit, and I did that easily with a Dremel. Again, I can post a web page to that later on. And fan shrouds. Yeah, we don't have a fan shroud here because I have an electric fan set up. I'm running a Flexolite. Let me move the camera again. I'm running a Flexolite 188, which comes with a shroud. I had to make a couple of brackets for mounting, but this fan works pretty sweet. Now I'll take you over to the Omega. Now the fan shroud I'm running on the Omega here is actually off a 75 to 79. And the bonus of that is it's a little wider than the old stock one for 73, 74, which is about this wide. So with a bigger shroud, and again, the placement of the fan is very key. You want your fan just to stick a little, see, actually my fan's a little too far forward. You want your fan to stick out a little bit back here to allow maximum cooling. again, this was a 6-cylinder car, and 6-cylinder cars actually didn't come with a fan shroud. You got a 4-blade fan, and your radiator support cover here just had a little provision as a shroud that covered over the fan. So I didn't have a proper one for this car, so I used one of my spare ones I had from 75 to 79, and I put it in the Omega. So that's what I'm using for the fan shroud in my cars. One of our friends had a different kind of fan shroud in his car. He's still trying to locate. He posted some pictures of it. I have yet to see one like that, but I actually thought it was pretty clean and pretty neat, so I was really curious about it. All right, and Kim has told us that, yes, she bought her lights from Octane Lighting, direct fit, no modifications, and plugged directly into her harness. All right, and okay, I'm assuming Kim's talking about the shroud I'm talking about. Yes, I believe that Matthew is his name, and that was a pretty sweet shroud, and that's what brought up the topic of fan shrouds for today. Now, is there any questions to that? I may be talking fast. I may be going too fast. If somebody has questions, please stop me, post a chat. And if you have any questions or want me to go over something, or if you want to see a closer picture with the camera, I can bring the camera closer. The next thing I have is alternators. Alternators are great. They power our cars, charge our batteries, right? I believe the stock V8s, I know my Nova came stock with a 63 amp alternator. Now, I don't have air conditioning, as you see, so I don't need the extra power. I had an old 63 amp on here. Now, that was great, fine and dandy, but then I start doing, little upgrades. I'm now running, headlights off the battery, LEDs, which don't take up much power, but I'm also running now an electric fan. And I've also added the Holley Sniper, which also includes an electric fuel pump. I was fine with that, with the 63 amp. I don't know how much amps it was taken, but I found late at night, if I had the radio on in the car, you have the headlights, marker lights, all those lights are on as well. And because it gets cold here in Winnipeg in September, October, we have the heat on in the car. With the heater on, I found when I was turning or going to stop at lights, everything would dim a little, the radio would start getting staticky, and the signal lights would slowly blink like you had a dead battery. So basically, I was probably really taxing that alternator. So what I did is I upgraded my alternator. I've got the PowerMaster 8002 alternator in here, and I didn't realize what a science alternators are. I thought, yeah, I need an alternator, slap it in, away we go, right? You've got 3-wire alternators, you got 1-wire alternators. Our earlier Novas, the 68s, the 72s, had the 1-wire. Now, the 73, 74 have a 3-wire. We got our 2 wires in the side here, that, this little clip, and of course the wire at the back. And there's different positions. There's a 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. We have what we call the 9 o'clock alternators here, and the clock position is determined by where the wires plug in compared to how it bolts in. So, on our cars, we bolt into the head, and it comes along here on the bracket for adjusting. So our wires come into the side. That's the 9 o'clock position. Now, I noticed there's 2 different types of cases. There's one called the 10SI and one called the 12SI. The 12SI are the newer style alternators. Will also have a solid front, where this alternator has like the fins. I will move the camera again. For those who get motion sick, I apologize. So again, see, I'm talking about the wires over here. And then with these blades, that's considered the 10SI alternator. Again, if I'm wrong or somebody's got some better information, please correct me. I'm just going on what I learned in fixing my Nova. Now, our friend, the Mad Electric, I believe, madelectric.com. Kim, she may be able to correct me on that website. He's got an excellent page on alternator upgrades. So I ended up upgrading to a 100 amp alternator. Haven't had an issue with lights, radio, heat. I can have everything going. Everything's good. So if you're going to do fuel injection, or you're starting to add more and more electric appliances to your car, higher ignition and all that, you might want to invest in a little bit better alternator. And our friend Dan here, he has dual electric fans. My fan, Daniel, I've just got it hooked up to the plain old ignition. So when I turn the ignition on, boom, it's on. I tried wiring mine up to a sniper. It turns out I need what they call a 512 volt relay, because my output trigger from the sniper is 5 volts, and that's not enough to trigger my relay to power my fans. So I've got to get what they call a 512 relay. So I've just got mine hooked up straight to the ignition. And again, it pulls power off my battery. Same with my headlights. And actually, you know what? Let me take a moment here to click on another window. I'm going to find out that website for you guys. So, yes, maddelectrical.com. I will post this link up for you guys later. And actually, he has a thread here where he actually talks about 1-wire compared to 3-wire alternators. This guy is nothing short of brilliant when it comes to electrical stuff in cars, electrical tech. He's got articles on brighter headlights, again, 1-wire to 3-wire, Chevy main electrical power systems, 10SI, 12SI alternators, and identification, how to identify them, clock positions, amps, part numbers. And actually, it was through his article that I got the part number that I eventually went with the Power Master alternator. And then he's got tips and tricks on battery charging, maintaining, recharging low batteries, how the whole electrical system works, and basic, oh, this is new, coming soon. Basic alternator testing. Oh, I'm going to look forward to that one. So maddelectric.com is that website. Very good for electrical stuff. Again, brighter headlights. And with headlights, he has it wired up where you pull the power off the battery as opposed to the factory wiring. And that's done through relays. And then I guess finally, to wrap up, if anyone's got any questions, please stop me. Oh, okay. Dan has just talked here where with his dual fan electric, he has the Phytech EFI system, and it has controllers for the high and low on the fans. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, the Sniper has 2 outputs as well for fans. Again, I need to get a 512 volt relay for those to trigger them, but I only have the one main fan. I have thought of going to dual fans, but I got such a sweet deal on this fan that, yeah, I couldn't pass it up, and that's why I'm using what I'm using. Your Phytech system there, Dan, did you upgrade your alternator system, or what kind of alternator? I'm just curious on what you're running with Phytech, and if you find it does well in keeping up with your car with all the extremities turned on and that. If you can let me know or just reply, that'd be great. And of course, you can always post pictures down on the website of your stuff. Please, people, I can't iterate enough posting pictures of your cars. I love 73, 74 Novas. They love 73, 74 Novas. Post them up. You can never post too many pictures. So Kim has just said some input here that you could call the Mad Electric guy and you can speak directly, and that she spends hours through a few days speaking with him directly. And actually, Kim and I have had many chats about different kinds of ways of wiring up different systems. Like myself, with my relays and that, I'm pulling power off the positive post of the battery because my factory wiring is side post. Now, the Mad Electrical, let's call him the Mad Electrician, because Mad Electrical just doesn't sound right, at least not to me. He's talking about pulling power off the power stud here of the horn relay. Now, that's genius because I've never thought of that. He's also talked about how you can use a relay to activate the power from your ignition activates the relay. Instead of the power coming from your factory electrical, which I believe the output would be 12 something, if you pull it and then use a relay to pull it from the horn relay or from the battery, you'll actually get better voltage to your HI distributor if you're worried about clean spark in that. So he had a very excellent idea there, which Kim spoke with him about and passed that information on to me, which, you know, Kim, I still haven't called him, and I really want to because the guy sounds brilliant. Again, yeah, okay, Dan. So, yeah, you may be fine with your stock alternator. I just found, like I said, with mine, especially in the fall time, when I had the heat on high, you know, lights are all on, radio's on, and I don't have a fancy stereo. I just have some Alpine deck I found at the junkyard, so it's nothing fancy. I just found I was a little weak on voltage when it came to low idles. PowerMaster 8002 is the one I went with. You might want to check it out. I bought mine off Summit Racing. However, there's only a 1-year warranty on these, and that's the only downside about these alternators, because when I used to run my Bosch stock alternator, I bought that years ago. And I think I'm on my 5th one because they come with a lifetime warranty. So I've had some issues lately with low voltage in the car, and I'm not sure if this alternator is actually on its way out or not. And the sad thing about that is the warranty expires tonight. So I'm going to test that while the car's off the road. I'm going to pull that off. We're going to take it down. Up here, we have Canadian Tire, which will do alternator testing, and I'm going to have it load tested just to find out, because I got to wait till the headers come in, and then I got to fix my coolant lines. I want to flare the transmission lines a little better, because that's what slipped off. And like I said, I did a. All right, if nobody else has any comments or that. Oh, gas gauge. Okay, Eric has just piped up. He's got a problem with his gas gauge. Could it be my sending unit? I don't know how to test sending units, and those are difficult to test because you got to drop the tank for it. The easiest things I would check is, I guess I'm assuming, Eric, all your other gauges work. Check the ground. There is a ground on the back of the car coming from the tank that should be just underneath the back. Check that ground wire. Make sure that ground wire is clean against the body and connected. I've seen where that can cause a problem with gas gauges. In fact, I had that issue with the Omega. And if you need a sending unit, I actually have the part number for that. I believe Spectrum Premium. It's FG103A, if I'm correct. Again, I can verify that part number. I've got it listed on my website because I ended up having to buy another one a couple months later for the other car. I'm assuming, Eric, like I said, all your other gauges are working. Is it in the dash? Is it in a console? I guess the other thing would be is, do you have a spare gauge you can quickly hook up to test? That might be easy to swap out onto the dash. I know myself, I have another instrument cluster. That's what I would probably try switching first, because as I mentioned, to switch your sending unit, you got to drop the tank. That may not be fun. And the last thing I have on my list here are memberships. Now, I'm very picky on the people I've approved for this group because I love this group. I love the maturity of our members. I love the knowledgeable people we have, and everything is so great. We have a lot of great people. You guys are great. What I'm worried about is letting, I don't want to say trollers in, but people who troll may not have 73, 74 Novas, who just want to, maybe bash the 73, 74, or just want to troll. Now, there's nothing wrong with trolling if you're looking at pictures and stuff like that. I guess maybe I shouldn't be so hard on people, but I'm looking for good members in that because I want the site to be the best. And from the feedback I've gotten, I think we're doing a good job there. I know we have some members who come in and then all of a sudden, boom, they're sending invites and inviting all their friends and maybe other family members to the group. A lot of them are getting denied. I will not lie to you. I am denying them unless they've answered the questionnaire. I have let, wives or husbands in, or, brothers or sisters accordingly. If the questionnaires are filled out and they seem genuine, I have filled them in, or I have let them in. But for the most part, if people are sending out invites and nobody's responding to the questions, and I see nothing car related or Nova related in that Facebook profile, I will decline. I will decline that membership. I can't speak for some of the other admins, but I think we're all pretty much on the same page that we like to see car content on the Facebook page. We like to especially see 73, 74 Nova pictures, at least, a couple. I mean, you don't have to be, your world doesn't have to revolve around it. We just need to know you're interested in the car. So that's the last thing about joining our group. If somebody, your brother, sister, mother, father, husband, wife, want in, and I have declined them a couple times, if you've tried, just send me a PM and let me know who they are, because we will make exceptions. I don't mean to be an absolute hard ass. We will make exceptions for the appropriate people. We just need to know that we're letting in good people. So that's all I've got on my list here. We've been doing this 45 minutes. There's still a few of you kicking around with me here. And Dan has just replied, Tanks Inc. have some great tanks for 73, 74 Novas and everything else you do need. I haven't personally checked out that site, but you have raised my curiosity, and I'm going to look that up. Myself, I was able to get tanks. One of my local suppliers, both my tanks I got are Spectrum Premium, because I got a new tank and sending unit for the Olds Omega when the tanks split a couple years ago. And then when I put the fuel injection in the Nova, I had to put a return line in the tank, and I sure as heck was not going to weld a 40-year-old tank and put a return bung in it. So I bought a new tank and sending unit for my Nova as well, and I got the Spectrum Premium gas tank and sending units, and I do have the part numbers for that. But Tanks Inc., that's a good one there, Dan, so thanks for bringing that up. I will look into that, and we will post that. Again, I just want to reiterate that all these parts and these modifications that I talk about, I'm not sponsored or supported by any group, anyone, any company, any brand. These are either parts I've learned from other members or seen on other people's or homework and found them to be the best product, and that's why I've bought them. So I just want to say I'm not endorsing any company or being sponsored. These are just my own personal opinions. So please, do your homework, ask the questions. Don't be afraid to post on Chevy Nova 73, 74. There are no dumb questions. It's better you post a question than to end up buying the wrong part and end up spending double and finding out that, so-and-so said, well, yeah, I could have saved you money. Please post anything and everything. We do have the members. We do have the expertise, and we do have some pretty smart users who can help you out. So again, and I personally, I would not tolerate any bashing replies to you. I will keep that thread clean if you do post your questions. Anyone gives you a problem, you let one of the moderators or one of the admins know, and we will take care of it. So again, I just want to mention that these are all parts I've come across that I've just researched on either my own or been brought to my attention, thought that they worked great, and bought them. In fact, I like the headlights so much that I've got the same pair in the Omega, and I have it wired up the same way, just in a little different fashion. And Doug has joined us. Hey, Doug, how's it going? Doug's a trucker friend of ours, and he's also the admin of Chevy Nova. Of course, you can't see that banner. He sent me a banner, which I keep in my garage. Chevy Nova. So Doug's got a group. He likes to see cars, muscle cars, badass cars, and Novas. And unfortunately, there's a little bit of trolling going on in that group, but I think later on this week, I'm going to go over there and throw my admin ass around and kick some people out. And Matthew DeJesus has joined us. How you doing, Matt? Okay, Matt said he had a problem with his gas gauge too. It ended up being a short, just had to ground it and replace the fuse. So let's hope it's that simple. And Matt, we were actually just talking about your car a little earlier, about your fan shroud, because it's neat, it's clean, and we like it. So we're trying to find out a little more information on it. And Steve Rushing, speedometer gears, where can you get a set? Well, sir, do I have the link for you? You can actually buy them off Summit if you know what gauges you have. On my website here on chevynova.ca/73nova, I have an information and reference section, and I actually have a section on transmission and drive lines, including gear ratio calculators, speedometer gear calculators. And let me just take a quick look here. Okay, that's not the one. Speedometer gear. Okay. There's an excellent calculator, and it's by www.5speeds.com/calculator/speedocalc.html. Let me write that. I want to write your name down here, Steve. I'm going to get you that information, and we'll send you the links for those calculators and where to find gear sets. I don't know. Do you know what gear and tooth count you need? And then, Kim, look at that. Kim's already beat me to it. She's ordered a set with this bullet and that with free shipping. So, Kim, if you could just let us know where you ordered that from. And again, Steve, I'll still send you the links to the calculators between all of us. Take a look and see what will make it work for you. And Daryl Doucette, how you doing? Welcome. You're a little late, but better late than never, right? And yeah, doing good over here. It's a little cool here in Winnipeg. We avoided a storm that was in Western Canada, like some of our other members. Logan Sesbatini in Calgary with his 74 Nova, they had a couple inches of snow. You guys can keep it there. And then ended up making the cold weather made its way to Manitoba here, but we were lucky. We didn't get any snow. We got a little bit of rain, but I heard in the forecast it's supposed to rain the next 4 days, and that's fine by me because I don't know if you've paid attention on the forum or not, or the group, but my Nova's off the road for a couple days. I have the backup car insured and running now. And Dan has chimed in here that Classic Industries carries dome and ground up restorations. Classic Industries year one, they're generally good. There's Elker's Nova as well for general parts. Jags has a lot of Nova stuff as well. There's Chevy 2 only. I've never dealt with them personally, but they're another site with Nova parts. Summit Racing, actually, believe it or not, actually has a lot of Nova parts. I have ordered some stuff from there. And the thing I like about Summit, if you're in Canada, boy, we take a bit of a bath on shipping and brokerage and tax fees. Summit's actually probably got some of the cheapest shipping rates to Canada, including the brokerage dealings. And that's where I get a lot of my parts from. So Steve's off by 10 miles per hour. So Steve, if you know your gear ratio and your tire height, again, I will send you that calculator here. Actually, let's see here. Copy. Pay or reply. Here's the Speedo calculator. This I'm still going to do a little write-up for you later, though, and get you something more concrete. But there's the calculator. I just sent it in the reply here to your chat. And let's go back down to the bottom here. Oh, okay. Kim actually bought her stuff on eBay, she's saying, for the Speedo stuff. And eBay, that's another great site, too, for parts. I just find a lot of people are a little out to lunch on their shipping and handling charges. That's just my personal opinion. And I've also come across a lot of people who will not ship to Canada. So boo earns to you. Unfortunately, our money's not good enough, so that kind of sucks. And then, yeah, I got some more links here that I'm going to share with Steve later. And 700 R4s or Turbo 400s, they have a whole complete gear system for the speedometers. So what kind of transmission do you have, Steve? If you can get back to me there. Yeah, oh, yeah. Again, helping Kim there. Her and I have had some great chats, and it's been fun helping her out. And I believe we've got her speedometer figured out to within 2 or 3 miles per hour, I think she said. Tire height and gear ratio, if you know that, that is the easiest way. And then, like she says, if you pull the bullet out, because you got to match 2 different teeth. There's 2 different teeth. There's the bullet tooth, and then there's the output shaft gear. And the combination of the different numbers will give you your ratios. Actually, look at this. I have a demo here. This is actually my spare set that I keep for the Omega because I was switching between 2 different sets of tires. So you've got your Speedo bullet. This is Turbo 300 or 350, pardon me, Turbo 350. You got your Speedo bullet. So here's one gear here. And that gear, this is for a 700 R4 or a Turbo 400. And I don't have a driven gear, I don't think. Okay, well, Steve, I'm going to rip you off here and only give you half a demo. On the end of the input shaft on your transmission, there'll be a gear as well. And with your bullet being here, the 2 turning together give you your ratio. So some gears, too, they are color coordinated, so to make it easier to find what gear you need, they are color coordinated, and some of them even have the number on them. So let's see, this is a yellow one. I'm not sure. This is a number 8 gear. There's a number 8. Again, you probably won't be able to focus. The cheap camera won't be able to focus on it. But yeah, number 8 gear. Again, Speedo bullet, can never have enough of these. I keep a spare. And another common leak around Turbo 350s, and the Nova currently is experiencing it. O-rings. Make sure you change these O-rings every once in a while because that is a common place for these transmissions to leak. Now, if you have a 700 R4 or a Turbo 400, this is the gear that'll be in the bullet. The Speedo bullet. And maybe what I'll do is for next week's stream, I'll get out the other gears and I'll give you guys a better demo. So hopefully that helps you a little there, Steve. And let's see. Okay, he's going to go check. Turbo 350. Okay, so yeah, you'll have the little bullet. So pull it out, see what gear you have, and again, clean off the gear. There should be a little number on it. And then the gear that's on the output shaft, you should be able to see it with a flashlight through the bullet hole. If you want to, you could take the tail housing off, 4 bolts. I believe they're 9/16. But you will lose a little bit of fluid, so be careful if you do it that way. And then you can get the number off that gear as well. Again, those ones are color-coded as well. So you should be able to see it through the bullet hole, and then through these calculators here, which I will post later. We should get you all fixed up, no problem. All right. Well, we're close to the hour mark here. So I'm going to write down here for next week, what do you guys want to see? Or what do you want to hear me natter about? And honestly, I try to provide you with what I know. I'm not trying to bullshit anyone. So if I'm telling something that's not right, please correct me. So let's do transmission gears again next week. We'll put that on here. Let me make my list. Transmission gear or Speedo gears. And anything else you guys want to talk about. Again this week, what did we cover this week? Again this week, we covered power versus manual steering and brakes, and my opinion of the pros and cons. We did the hood trim, and I think I forgot to mention on the 68 to 72 hoods, you can cut the lip on them to take this trim. So you can do it. You can use those hoods with the longer lip, or you can use their molding too. But again, be careful of the plastic grill. And this is another thing I've often told my friends when they work on their Novas, and I've posted it from time to time on various groups. When you're doing work on your Nova, it's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws to take off this grill. Sometimes it's worth it because it's cheap, it's plastic, and it breaks easy. So if you're doing some work on your car, and especially an engine pull, that's the first thing I take off the car. So I guess really that's it for me, unless anybody wants to pipe up here. Oh, door panels. Yes. We'll go over this again. Here is your 73-74 door panel, which has the strap, which I don't have. This is actually off my car. I need to do some repair to it. So you got your strap here. Some people have been asking about the 78 to 72 door panels, which have a handle in this area. But the window crank location is different. And I believe, and again, the gentleman's name is John Haynes, pardon me. He posted some pictures on one of the threads. I believe it was Michael Dart's thread. So if you do a search in the group for a message by Michael Dart, or just search John's name, he took some pictures on the 68 to 72 door panels on his 73 Nova. So really the difference for him, he said, was the location of the window crank, and he had to rivet the velvet on here on the other door panel to work with his Nova. And then I mentioned one of the reasons why this is off my car is I've got some cracking happening over here by the door handles, I guess from over the years of pulling, slamming. You know, stuff gets old, gets brittle. So I want to fiberglass this up and fix it before I put it back in my car so it doesn't tear the leather and that, because it's still in good shape. However, you can buy these panels new now, but why would I want to spend $300-400 when I think I can fix that for about $30 with a little bit of fiberglass? Of course, it'll probably cost me twice as much because I don't know how to fiberglass, but we're going to learn. So hopefully, Dan, that answers your question. Hey, Rob, you're back. You missed quite a bit. We were just comparing 73s to 74s and talking about how 73s are better than 74s. Not really, but I just want to stir the pot with Rob. Okay, and Dan here's provided us again with some more information. He carries the moldings for the doors and the door pulls. Bought a set. Dan, if you can post a link to that or provide us with some pictures, that'd be great. I'd love to see that. So yeah, that's why we were talking with door panels. And I don't know if you can use the quarter glass. I don't think you can use the rear back ones. Maybe you can. Might have to just cut them accordingly because I know the back window is a different shape along the bottom, but I'm sure anything can be adapted. We got some very creative members here who could probably show us and tell us how that's done. Johnny Davis has joined us. How you doing, buddy? We talked about, again, manual versus power steering, brakes, the 73, 74 Nova hoods versus 68 to 72 with the trim, and then we touched on door panels. Again, John Haynes is the man to look up in the group for some beautiful pictures. We touched on headlights again. We spoke on fan shrouds, alternator upgrades, and membership, joining our group, and how I go about approving people. Oh, so Rob had to go to the shop to fix a tire. Yeah, flat tires are never fun. I wish mine was as simple as a flat tire. So that's basically, folks, all I've got for you this week. Again, next week, not sure if I'm going to be here Tuesday. I will try, of course, to be at the same time every week on Tuesday. Got to see how my hockey schedule falls. The life of a backup goalie. And being Canadian, it is my duty to play. They can put me in jail for that. Well, not really, but yeah. You know, hockey's like religion to us up here. At least until May long weekend. Then racing starts. And I'm hoping to get the Nova out some more, but again, mostly I race the Omega with my dad. My dad races in the heavy street category. And actually, the 2018 Heavy Street Championship car is right there. And yeah, that's all I got, folks. So I'll give it a few more moments for people to post questions, or if you want to talk amongst yourselves. I mentioned earlier that I cleaned the garage. See, look at the room around here. Oh, how many of you guys work on your cars in the garage and your cars aren't movable and you wish you could move them around? Yeah, I'm one of them. Tire dollies. Ah, these things are great. They don't look like much, but 4 of these, and I can slide these cars around very easily. And the great thing about this particular type, I bought this at Princess Auto. It didn't really have a brand name or not. It's the heavier duty one of the two. I think this was the 6000 one versus the other ones, which are just kind of a tire shape with 2 metal bars. I bought the heavier gauge one. And the beauty with these ones is the bolts here, a turbo 350 transmission, slides perfectly on here. Easy to move in and out from underneath the car. So tire dollies, these things are awesome. I really should put it away before I go skating. But yeah, this is what I usually put my cars on in the winter time. And again, they are, hope it didn't get dirty. And they are great for turbo 350 transmissions. So we've been up for almost 70 minutes. So thank you very much for joining me on your Tuesday evening. Again, my name's David Meyer. I'm one of the admins on Chevy Nova 7374. And please, if you have any questions or comments, or even want to just discuss an upgrade or have anything to say, feel free to personal message me. If you don't want to message, put a public message up, that's fine too. I look at my personal messages too, and I'll do my best to get you an answer or try to help you with your problems. Sadly, Novas are my life. I love the car. I grew up with the car. Probably wouldn't be in my life or whereabouts in my life I am without the car. I am the car. And before we go, let me take you for a tour of the seats. So yeah, like I mentioned last Friday, I put the seats in my car. Man, these things are sweet. So now, look at that. No more crap seat cover. Now, I didn't go with the factory material for the car. I went with a vinyl. It's actually a marine vinyl, which wears better in the sun. And it's supposed to be cloth in this part here. Again, vinyl. I'm very happy with that. I mean, the car looks so much better. Very happy with that. That was all my winter saving money. And now that I need new goalie equipment, I can't get it because I spent it on the seats. All right, folks, I'm going to give it one more minute. If somebody doesn't chat, ask a question to that, I'm going to wrap things up. Because nothing like streaming awkward silence, and I don't think you want to see me staring into the camera and saying nothing. Also, I want to go watch Game of Thrones. I've taped a few, and yeah, I got hooked on it. Yeah. I was that 1%. Not anymore. And then, Rob's talking about the seats in his car. He's got the back Pro Car seats with the harness holes. I never plan to upgrade my car to the point where I'm going to need a 5-point harness. I don't plan on going that fast. In fact, running 12.2, 12.3 when I did with this car was a lot faster than I expected when that motor was built. I'm okay with high 12s myself, but yeah, I like the stock interior. I love my bench seat. That way you can put, stuff in the middle. It's easier to hold your girlfriend's hand in the middle and that. But sometimes I think, buckets would have been nice. Every now and then I take a shot at my dad and tell him, I wish he wasn't so cheap and he would have splurged another $200 for the SS package. But he told me he didn't plan on keeping the car that long. Okay, Daniel. Okay, Daniel, actually, if you do a search in the group, somebody has posted it. We had that conversation come up a couple weeks ago on pictures of original bucket seats. In fact, you can see it on the dealer brochure. Let me find that for you again. Okay, dealer brochure 73. I think we found in the dealer brochure. But yeah, of course, by all means, people, please help Dan out here and post some pictures of your interior, of your bench seats. Or not bench seats. Bucket seats. Sorry, I saw a bench seat there. Where is it here? Okay, one sec. Here we are on page 8 of the dealer brochure. And I'll post a link to you here, Dan. It may not be exactly what you want, but it'll give you an idea. There we go. So there's a link for you to check out, my friend. And Rob's talking about, I need a 26-inch long radial hold down. I can only find a 24-inch long. Where can I find a 26-inch? You're talking what, tire height, Rob? I think tire height 26. You might be looking at I think the 255 60s are. Oh, hey, I found my tape measure. So Nova molding on 73, 74 is 1 inch. I didn't have that answer earlier. So here, Rob, I got some 255 60s right here. A 255 60 is about 26 and a half. The site you want to look up, Rob, will be tiresize.com. And you can put in different tire measurements there. It'll give you the specs, the width, the height, the sidewall, tread depth, anything you need. Tiresize.com. That's where you'll want to look. Oh, radiator. Well, yeah, that's a lot different than radial. And you said a 26, not a 24. Hey, Nick, how you doing, buddy? Okay, 26-inch long radiator. Now, are we talking, Rob, from the end of the coolant tank to the end of the coolant tank, or are you talking just the finned area? Please let me know. And Nick has joined us. Welcome, sir. Not much is up, just, doing a little Nova rambling on. And Nick, you mentioned that you had some door panels for sale. Are they black? And just wondering what kind of shape they are. Are the tabs good and all, and how much you might want for them? I think you sent me a reply. I just haven't checked it yet. Because depending on the price, I may just buy another set of door panels instead of fixing mine. Mine are just a little cracked, I guess, from years of use and that. And then I got a crack right here. And I want to fix that before, it tears the vinyl. And I'm too cheap to spend, $500. Well, it'd be $500 after exchange and shipping on brand new door panels. So, okay, outside of the bolt holes. Well, yeah, there shouldn't be bolt holes in a radiator. Okay, well, Rob, I'm going to give you the measurements I have for mine. My tank, look at that. And roughly, the fin area is about, look at that, I can measure that here. is about 21 and a half. The tank I have is a Performance World. I can get you the part number for it. The only thing with the tank I bought is the feed the feed spout on the bottom of the rad is at like a 45-degree angle, and that sucks if you're using a stock hose. I actually cut mine off, had it straightened and re-welded straight. Maybe one of our members can provide a tank number for you. Again, I used a Performance World, and it had to be modified a little, and then I actually had to modify the upper rad cover here because of the neck. As you can see, my neck is flush straight. It's not on an angle like a stock rad would be. If you're just looking for a stock rad, they should be easy to find. Easily find a 4-core of that. This Performance World one is 2 1-inch cores. When I upgraded from just a stock 4-core rad to this aluminum rad, really, I pissed away $250. And the reason I'm going to tell you why is that 4-core kept the car just as cool as this aluminum one did. The only difference is this aluminum one, when you're leaving a set of lights, will cool down quicker than the 4-core, but overall, it doesn't make a big difference for my motor. To me, I thought I had wasted my money. It was an unnecessary upgrade for me. Okay, here we go. Dan has informed us that the reproduction door panels are crap. Usually most reproduction stuff is. It's never as good as the original. Well, let's be honest about that. Find an original set and fix them if they're cracked. So I think you've answered my question there, Dan. I will be fixing my door panel. But still want to see what Nick has, because, you know, I can always use another set. And honestly, I would like a black interior for the Omega, because I'm not a fan of poo brown. Oh, they're often Impala. Some cracking on the back. One tab is broken. So that's no bad. I do like 250 or best offer. That's actually not too bad. And hey, Jason, just checking in now. He's worked late today, so welcome. As you can see, we're running a little overtime today. It's 80 minutes. Usually we only do an hour, but comments keep coming, so I'm going to keep yakking. So, Jason, how's your Nova coming along? Is it running? Are you doing anything to it? Let us know. And, yeah, Nick, I'm interested in those panels. I'll be honest, if somebody is going to pipe up and buy them, go ahead and sell them, because I got a few other expenses I got to take care of first. That's kind of one of my wish lists, not on my need list right now. So if somebody else needs those door panels, Nick Dyson is your guy. Or Dyson or Dyson? Oh, man, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I don't mean to offend people. I'm so bad with names. Oh, and there was a thread earlier this week. Some people were posting about extra grills. Now, I had this extra front grill. Unfortunately, it's got a little crack here, which I'm going to try and fix with another broken grill I have. And I just noticed that this tooth is a little out, but some people were posting how they had them posted up in their garage. I don't know if you can see that, but there's the other bench seat out of my Nova, the old green one that was in there. My borrowed seat that I've been using for 15 years. Anyway, I mounted a grill too, and I got it above my toolbox up there. An SS grill with, and I do plan. Oh yeah, look at that! I even have a taillight panel for a '73 Chevelle, which I'm told are gold. Yes, I am a closet Chevelle lover, and that is my girlfriend's fault, as she has two '73 Chevelles. Oh, okay. Dyson. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm getting your name right there, Dyson. So thank you, or Nick, because I want to be respectful to you guys. You guys are great. So, okay. He's been trying to, okay, well, I'm going to keep that in mind. Again, got a few other things I got to get for my Nova first. And we could be talking soon.
I've been fixing the kid's car and ignoring mine. Oh, so watching you work on yours instead. I don't know if anybody wants to see when I put the headers in the car. Is anybody interested in seeing a headers install video? What I have in the car right now are Hedman 1 5/8 headers on both sides. And earlier this week, I discovered that my pipe going into the collector is cracked. And I posted a picture of that. These Hedman headers I've had for 19 years. They have served me well. They're actually listed for a 67 to 69 Camaro, which apparently has more clearance for a steering box. And that information is thanks to Greg Watson, who has a 73 Nova. He's on 2quicknovas.com. Craig Watson with the Death Nova, as he calls it. And I went with hooker headers this second time, the 2451 HKRs. As a friend of mine, Glenn, uses them on his Nova, had really good luck with them, says they fit great, and they were also a lot cheaper. They were about $70, $80 cheaper. So I'm going to try the hooker headers. I actually have a set of hooker headers in the Omega, and they appear to fit fine, though with the power steering box. The power steering box is a little bigger, and it is right up against the header, but yeah, it'll clearance itself. Oh, I absolutely agree with you, Dan. I wish we could. Can we not post? No, okay. I will be posting a follow-up thread after, Dan, of the things we've talked about. So by all means, feel free to reply and post pictures there, or even just start your own thread talking about the subject of interest and post away, and we'll all chime in there. It doesn't have to be me posting. You guys are more than welcome to post up a storm, post anything you want. And again, I love pictures. That's another thing. Oh, glad you brought that up. Cover photos on the Chevy Nova 7374 group. Typically, we change them every Wednesday afternoon or Thursday, depending if I forget or not, or depending on William's schedule. Now, as I see your pictures, and I love them, I right-click, I save them, and I've been saving them on my hard drive on my laptop so that when Wednesday comes along, boom, I have a picture. Now, I picked them completely at random. I don't have any favorites. If I did have favorites, you guys would be seeing mine over all the time. So what I do is I've been picking pictures and posting. Collecting. There's 52 weeks in a year. Yeah, 52 weeks in a year. I have 108 pictures saved on my computer right now. And you guys are posting more pictures, which means I'm saving more pictures. So I talked with William earlier this week, sent him a chat, said, hey, Will, I got a problem. I got this directory full of pictures, and getting more members on the group, getting more pictures. I think we need to change the cover picture more often. We have now decided we're going to change it on Monday afternoon and Thursday afternoons now, just to get everybody's car up there, because I want to use everybody's car. I don't care if it's a trailer queen. I don't care if it's a parts car. I don't care if it's a daily driver. I'm using everything. As long as it's a nice picture, I look for pictures that will fill on a computer, that will fill the cover area with the body of the car. So I look for, various kind of stances here. I'll show you an instance here. Let's take a couple of my pictures here, for example. See, I want to use like the body of the car, and I want that to be at the center of the screen. Same with here. Crash in your car. So I like to use pictures that'll be in that part of the cover picture, as opposed to something that will only show like the front end or, part of the car where part of the car is cut off. If it's got portions that are cut off, or I don't think will make a nice look on the PC, I don't save them. I'm sorry, I'm a little picky. I don't mean to disrespect the photos. I just try to get something that will fill the area nicely of the whole car. So again, please send me your picture or post your pictures. And Steve's going to eat dinner. So Steve, thank you very much for joining us quickly. If you're having pizza, save me some, and I will get you that stuff on the Speedo and the gears and that kind of information. And hopefully, Kim, if you're still watching, if you could post that to him as well. All right, Dan, let's see what you have to say here. I hope that we are not going to hate. I'm a member. I have a 70 but half modified, changed the appearance due to lack of finding the correct parts. Spoke about that earlier, Dan. We do have a number of members that are purists. Pure 73, 74, blah, 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 big bumpers, blah, blah, blah. We have our purists. We have people who do slight modifications. You know, they do the bumper tucks and that, or they run, you know, a different hood with a different trim. And then we have people who have done like full conversions and done the 68 to 72 front and even done taillight panels. I know, like, I was one of those guys who used to look down on it. I will admit, but you know what? I've learned, I've grown, and I've learned to accept that, you know, what makes my ride with modifications any different than your ride with modifications? You love your car. You spend your hard-earned money on your car, as I do with mine. I'm not running stock headlights. I'm not running stock, you know, signal light things. I painted my grille black. It should be that gray color. So, you know, I've done modifications to my car. What makes my modifications okay and yours not? So I guess I've learned that modifications are good and okay. And there are sometimes, like you say, the correct parts are not available. Take my Omega, for example. I have yet to find another set of front fenders. I've got, like, you know, a huge hole here that I can stick a pen in on both sides. You know, I got nothing but rust here. I've got a ding here. Of course, it looks good on camera, but I know what you mean about not being able to find correct parts. And I've really thought of changing the front end on the Omega to put a nice set of Nova fenders and, you know, another Nova clip and bumper, because I have the parts for that too. And same, the front bumper, all scuffed along the front, rusted. So yeah, sometimes it is hard to maintain the purity of a car. And also, while I'm on the case of nattering with that, with my girlfriend's 73 Chevelle, it took us 7 years to find the parts to put the front end of that car back together again. And we were driving it around with the front clip of a 74. It was unbelievable, the people that used to come up and say, oh, it's a 76 or it's a 70 this. No, it's a 73. Well, no, look at the front. Not the correct front. These were the parts that are available. So, my friend, I do sympathize with you, but hey, whatever gets the car on the road and gets you behind the wheel, right? And Stan, hey, welcome. Thanks for joining. Just catching the tail end of the show. Stan has a beautiful 74 Nova. It's blue with white racing stripes, I believe, or white stripes down the side. Anyway, it's a beautiful blue. And let's see what else. Nick is saying that there's a 74 Nova for sale near him with an LS1 that he swapped everything from the nose to the tail panel, the bumpers, even the quarter panel. So it has the same body lines as a 68 to 72. I guess my first question would be why, but you know, again, not my car, not my money, not my mods, and probably did a heck of a job on it. And speaking of LSs, there's a gentleman that's here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. His name's Rob Exner. He's a member of the site. He's got a beautiful 74 twin turbo LS Nova. You can see videos of him. And if you have any LS questions, you can see, ask him questions. He's part of a group called the Sweatpants Posse. SPP TV is on YouTube, and you can check them out Wednesday nights. So if you're not doing anything tomorrow night, I know I'll probably, oh no, I got hockey tomorrow. Let's see what time it is. They're usually online between 8 and 8:30 Central Standard Time. And they're on for about 2 to 3 hours hanging out in the garage. Usually it's Rob's garage, so you'll be able to see his Nova. Those three guys, Mike, Clayton, and Rob, wizards with LSs. So if you're an LS guy, you might want to check out that show and tell them Nova Boy sent you. So we're just, oh, wow, look at that, an hour and a half. Boy, you guys must really love me. So let's give it another minute, see if anything pops up, or I'm going to wrap things up for this Tuesday. Thank you very much for joining me. Again, I apologize for bailing on you guys last week. Might happen again next week, but I'll let you guys know ahead of time whether I will be here or if I'm going to be playing hockey, and we'll try to arrange another time. And again, please, if you have any topics, subjects, questions of that, message me, or if you want to see something on the show, or if you even want to do the stream from your garage, get a hold of me and hey, we can talk and get you set up, and we can host it from your place. Doesn't have to be me. All right, and Jason just piped up here. Okay, the lines on the 74 are so great in his opinion, so no one seems to have a problem spending $50K. Due to the drive line, a flip it when you touch a bumper. You are right, Jace. And yeah, you know, it's your money, your car, guys. Do what you want with them, just like I've done with mine. I know there's a lot of people that frown on me. I've had people go, "Oh, well, it's not stock anymore." Yeah, well, up yours. I pay the bills. But yeah, I've always loved, like when I was a kid growing up, this was the car I always loved in my grandpa's garage. So I didn't know Novas never looked different than this. And then I remember one time seeing this 72 Nova parked down the street. My dad telling me about it, and I looked at it like, well, that's not a Nova. It's got a different front. I was 6 years old. What did I know, right? But I got to admit, I'm a 73, 74 purist. I like my big bumpers, and I like my big bumpers because I can put tools here. That's handy. So, again, it's up to you guys what you do with your cars. Hopefully people will be respectful to your mods as you are to our mods. Who's to say what mod's correct? So, I guess in saying that, we've just flipped over an hour and a half here. 5 people left. Again, thanks for joining. I'll be posting a summary of tonight's conversation on the forum later on. First, I'm going to go inside, have some supper, and watch Game of Thrones. Then I'll post. And by all means, don't be afraid to post. Send me a message if you need, whatever you need to do. I guess, like I've been saying the last few times, smoke tires, not drugs. Whoa, slipped up there. You can tell it's been a long stream. So, smoke tires, not drugs. And I'll see you guys hopefully in a week's time. Take care.